There are people here that are a vessel and they're not really holding a human soul. You'll see these people and it's just their consciousness is residing in 10% of their body.
You talking about like a movie like Get Out?
Yeah. It's like your soul is residing on like this very, very tight corner of your body. They can't access their full consciousness, so something else kind of takes over them. That's soul loss. I could see your aura. I could see your energy.
What you see?
It's crazy you said that. You just gave me permission to see everything.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the HORRORble Podcast. If tonight my voice sounds all kind of messed up, it's because a cold tried to attack me, but I'm whooping its ass. With that being said, tonight we have a very beautiful lady with us here. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. How you doing?
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I also go by Lotty Luxe, and I am a ceremonial magician and aura reader.
Tell us where you're from.
So I'm from Queens, New York. I live in Florida now.
What was your childhood like?
You're really going straight into it.
I want to know. I want to know everything.
Okay. I think much like a lot of psychic mediums, it was tumultuous, but not negative, not as negative as positive. It was just, I would say it's balanced. You know?
I don't know. What is a psychic? How soon did you know that you had some abilities?
So when I was very young, like I want to say around the age of 6, I would see these like etheric spiders, and I would see them chip away at paint. So that was like the first instance of me realizing I had different abilities. But I mean, back then I was so young, like I didn't really know what it was called. And then when I was around the same age, I would have recollections of being ready to incarnate into Earth and how I was waiting with angels to reincarnate into this lifetime. So I'm not sure if that is a clear indication. Like, I'm not sure if that would be a clear indication of that I knew I had abilities, but I definitely, when I would tell my family about it, they would just think it's not normal. I also, when I was first born, starting to talk, my first words were in Hebrew, and first things I wrote were also in Hebrew, which nobody in my family speaks Hebrew. Nobody is Jewish. It was just, I guess, to me, it was like my familiar language, especially because everybody around me just spoke English or Spanish.
So you weren't taught?
No.
It just happened?
Yeah. Like I would call my grandmother Ima, like I would.
Do you think that came from a past life?
Yeah. Definitely.
Do you know who you were in your past life?
I think I know who I was in certain past lives. Like I definitely had a past life in Atlantis. I don't know where the Hebrew came from though. Like,
Did you grow up in a religious household?
yes,
What religion?
Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that play a big role in your future?
Yes. So actually, like Catholicism, praying and feeling the presence of the saints, of the angels, of Jesus is why I started doing what I do now. Not necessarily like the aura reading, but I first started doing mediumship-based readings, and I could read when someone has attachments, and I did feel as though I had to make an impact on this world by helping people get rid of these attachments. Luckily, you know, it's grown, and back 6 years ago, I would work with people individually, and I just recently stopped doing that, but I was able to help a lot of people that have had curses and hexes and attachments on them. Some of them had been haunted on their soul, so every life they would reincarnate into, they would have the same attachments or curses. And not a lot of people understood that, but I always had like an inner knowing about it, you know?
You said 6 years ago you stopped.
6 years ago I started, but this year I actually stopped.
Why'd you stop?
Just different. First of all, it is very energetically consuming to help people in that way. It's very intimate, and you know, it kind of just took so much out of me, and there's other endeavors that I feel like could benefit people more. Benefit more people than me just working one-on-one. I think there's a lot of other people that are very skilled and they could possibly do it better than I can at this point in my life, just because they have more time. So I'm not going to keep taking on a role that I don't feel like I'd be 100% efficient in.
Makes sense. Have you ever had an experience with somebody while you're helping them, it frightened you?
I had a Mexican lady, and she was a really nice woman, right? It's always the nice people that have these curses because they're vulnerable. And she had 2 sons and a husband, and she had a curse on her. And so I'm part Peruvian, and I noticed that people, like, in the Hispanic culture, there's a lot more people I see that are Hispanic that have generational curses than in other cultures. Like, I would say Caribbean is, like, up there, but Hispanics mostly. So she had a generational curse on her, and I got it off of her. But the thing is that energy never dies. So it hit everybody else in her family 10 times worse, where her grandmother was in the hospital, and her sons were having issues, and her husband, you know, that's not even blood, was also having health issues. So that scared me, because that basically taught me, like, you can do something good for somebody, but it can actually, somebody else will have to pay the price of it.
You said something about Hispanics.
Yes.
I guess they're the ones that have the most curses?
I don't think so. I think back when we were, you know, like, conquered, a lot of people in the Amazon and in South America and the Caribbean, we had to protect ourselves somehow, and magic was the form of protection that they knew. You know, like, whether it be positive, negative, I feel like a lot of people have opinions on that now, but that was their form of protection, spiritual protection. And when you have these people that are taking over and you're throwing so much negative energy, it does come back. And, you know, obviously, human error, people throw curses like nothing, especially nowadays. They're a little upset. I mean, imagine back then.
Yeah.
You know, somebody, you know, you're dating somebody and they get somebody else pregnant, like, they'll put a curse on the baby just because they're jealous or something stupid. Human error.
When did you first, I know as a child you had a different perception already, but when did you know and you were certain that you seen things different than other people?
I would say when I was 16, I went to Peru with my father. Like, I've done it many times, but this trip, like, it was, actually, it was 15 because I had my quinceañera there, and I was hearing my name. And I've heard from other people, like, 15 is usually the age where, like, it's like you get initiated almost for some people. So I had a lot of crazy things happen that year, right? Like, I would hear my name in my ear, like somebody calling me, and there was nobody there.
Consistently?
It's happened a few times. I'd fall asleep and I'd wake up and somebody would be there and then they would just vanish. So I also think, like, as a person, like, you do develop a certain trauma to that because it's not normal. Yeah, but I feel like around 15, there was just no denying, like, I'm seeing things and hearing things, and there's no possible way that anybody else is. And, like, it just defied physics because somebody is not able to just vanish, you know, obviously.
Yeah. Did you tell your parents? Did you tell anybody?
I don't remember, really. There was one time I woke up with 3 triangles imprinted into my forehead, and it was just like burn marks, and I have no idea how that happened, and nobody believed me. I mean, it was so taboo back then, back in 2000.
What do you mean nobody believed you? If you could see it.
My mom said that you probably hit your head on the headboard. Like, that's
while you were sleeping?
Yeah. So.
Does your mom have these abilities?
No, it's on my dad's side.
Did he?
My grandfather was a medium.
But did your dad have the abilities as well?
I think if my father took a different, he wants it, but I think if my father took a different path in this lifetime, God, the creator, you know, source energy would have given him spiritual gifts. But because of the person he chose to be, he is very blocked off from accessing it.
That makes sense. So people can't block their blessings or gifts?
Of course. I just did a reading today on Cher. Very interesting because she had a gold aura. And
you talking about the singer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was black all around it. And it's because of a betrayal that she betrayed somebody. And the reason she has her gifts is, she is, oh my gosh.
May you please tell me exactly what you're experiencing?
Chanting.
Chanting?
Yeah.
That's what you're hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it making you uncomfortable?
A little bit. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. Take your time.
Does this just goes on? It doesn't bother you?
I can feel it. I don't hear it. I know what she's talking about. I don't hear a lot of it. I think my gifts come with I can feel it in here. And also her energy is so strong that when she becomes uneasy, it oozes out of her. It just that shit is crazy.
All right, we can try again.
Okay. I'm not sure what was the last thing you were saying.
We were talking about Cher. And
Yeah. Cher, she had this black aura.
So it was about a betrayal, and her soul chose to be a healer. She has an old soul, right? Very powerful, but just the way she has gone in her life, God, Creator, has just blocked her off from her gifts. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I see black on somebody's aura, it means protection. But for her, it was not protection. It was her literally being blocked off from accessing her true potential.
That's crazy to think that as big as Cher is, that even she can be suppressing herself.
I know.
I could smell your fear, which is why I pulled up to talk about tonight's sponsor, Insane Labs.
As someone who has dedicated their life to sports and horror, I finally have found something that has combined the two. What the fuck? Have you ever seen a box that's this insane? Insane Labs and Saw, Lionsgate, they did a hell of a job with the box, so let's check out what's inside. Ooh, they got some treats in here. We got that motherfucking bloodbath, that non-stem pre-workout. Then we got that psychotic, which some of y'all watching are absolutely psychotic, but I love y'all. That high stem pre-workout. Last but not least, we got that Saw high stem fat burner, where we are gonna chop down that motherfucking fat as if it was somebody running through the woods that we were chasing after. We even have a motherfucking shaker. Get you a Saw sticker. Is this a flag? It's too windy out here, y'all, in the middle of the woods. Even if you aren't hitting the gym every day, you gotta stay hydrated. And here we have Psychotic Hydration. Contains electrolytes and B12 and also comes in 5 different flavors. And now for my favorite, the great tasting lean protein, Prolean. Stay swole, see them gains, let's play a game. So go ahead and visit insanelabs.com to grab your Saw Kill Kit and use the code HORRORble20 for 20% off. Use the word aura. Tell me exactly what an aura is.
So somebody's aura is the electromagnetic field around them. And we all have an aura, right? Some people have a positive, very vibrant aura. It's expansive. Other people, it's very suppressed. Mm-hmm. And it just mostly goes about your chakras, right? If you have a red aura, it's your root chakra. If you have a green aura, it's your heart chakra. It could also mean abundance, wealth, things like that.
When you're reading an aura, is it visual? Is it intuitive? Is it emotional?
Yeah, I feel it, and sometimes I will see it.
So you can physically see the colors around somebody?
Yeah.
Does that ever bother you?
Yes. I've tried to tune out a lot of it, honestly, because it's very overwhelming to see somebody's aura, to feel their energy. I mean, I'm sure, as you know, just feeling people's energy, it gets overwhelming. But you have a lot of protection around you.
What makes you say that?
Well, I could see your aura. I could see your energy.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Do people's auras change over time?
Yes. Sometimes, we have 2 main colors, and these usually will stay with us forever, right? Unless something drastic happens. And then you have other colors around your auric field, and they change, day to day. If you were next to me, you might adapt some of my aura colors, right? And some people, they'll have, say, for instance, they have a green and purple aura, but they'll have gray around their head. And it signifies blockages, uncertainty, sometimes despair, depression, mental illness. But it's not something permanent.
Can trauma change someone's aura?
Yes.
Like dramatically?
Yes. I have seen people that have had miscarriages adapt gray in their sacral because of it. So yes.
What about something like addiction?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's some level of trauma too.
I'm trying to think back to instances where I've had clients and they have experienced addiction and if I've seen things in their auric field, but addiction is usually caused by demonic forces. And that also can change your aura.
What about something positive like love?
Yeah.
Being in love. Can that change your aura?
It can make your aura more vibrant. It can make your own energy more vibrant. If you're in love with somebody, you can adapt some of their auric field, their energy, like their aura color.
Yeah.
So,
do you believe that children can perceive aura easier?
I don't know about easier. I feel like if you have the gift, you'll have it. You become an adult, you become more advanced, understand it better. And the more you understand from at least what I've seen, the angels, God, creator, whatever you work with, will show you more of it, right? Whereas children are naturally intuitive.
Okay.
They may grow out of it at one point.
Why do you think they grow out of it?
I think society just takes a lot of like our inner child away from us.
You think our parents play a big role in suppressing that
Yeah,
power,
I do.
gift?
Like, I would say that, because my father's side was very spiritual and gifted, they never shunned me or like made me feel bad or anything because of my abilities. I have cousins that are mediums in Peru as well. And they believe, right? Here, my mother, not really the case. I mean, I don't think a lot of people like in Western society in the United States, at least, maybe back then, are as open as like people in Hispanic culture to this stuff.
Mm-hmm. If someone wanted to improve their aura intentionally,
Yeah.
can they?
Yes.
How would they do that?
What is blocking them in life? What is keeping them suppressed? What is putting uncertainty in their head? Why are they suppressed to begin with? That is the root cause of their auric field being suppressed, obviously.
I'll give you a main one. Stress.
A main one? Stress. We're all stressed out. I think it's if you let it overcome your own energy, when the stress becomes stronger than your own etheric energy is when it will take over.
I mean, stress doesn't do the body any good.
No. Not
Mentally,
on any level.
physically, spiritually.
I think some stress is good. Like, I think to be disciplined, you sometimes have to be stressed out to do things at the best capacity you can. I think it plays a role at certain points, but it can't overtake you.
I want to talk about you working with angels.
Okay.
So when you say working with angels, what do you actually mean?
So I am a ceremonial magician, meaning that I will work with the angelic seals, and I will invoke angels and ask them to help me with whatever I'm doing. Usually it's just to remove negative energies off me. I mean, I feel like when you're on the internet or whatever, people are just watching you, and that like takes a toll on you energetically as well. Mm-hmm. So I work with angels to remove all of that.
Do you believe everyone has angels or spiritual guides?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yes.
Does
spiritual guides and angels, not necessarily both.
So they can have one or the other?
I think that in 2026, there are people here that are a vessel and they're not really holding a human soul. So because of that, I can't say that they have spirit guides like you and me or angels like you and me. Mm. I don't know if it's always been like that. I'm sure it has been. But that's what I've noticed, that there's people that are just not human. And they're born into this world.
Can people unknowingly ignore their guidance?
Of course. People do it all the time. What do you think? Life, for a lot of people are stuck because they are ignoring guidance.
But if they're unknowingly doing it, what would be the cause of it? Like alcohol, drinking, smoking?
I would say low soul IQ, meaning that they are just either not as advanced of a soul, Some of them have a soul curse on them, which is blocking them. Some of them have other issues, generational issues. There's many reasons, but a lot of people, they are not accessing their true gifts because of, just the way that the consciousness of the world around us, which is very low. We're in the 3D reality. We're closer to hell than heaven, right?
Elaborate. Elaborate.
We're in the third dimension, meaning we're closer to hell than we are to heaven. The heaven is in the 7th and 12th dimension. So imagine how low we are. So there's a lot of low vibrational people here.
You said there are 12 dimensions?
There's more than 12.
Okay.
But once you get into the 12th dimension, that's like the heaven frequency.
So is heaven just a frequency or is it an actual place?
I think it's just a frequency.
Okay.
I think it depends. I think it's about perspective. Because heaven is different for everybody, right? Like what you would consider to be heaven might be different for somebody else.
True.
And I understand, like, religiously as a Catholic, it's this amazing place, and I think it is, but I also feel like it's just a place where your soul is in complete bliss. I don't think it looks a certain way or anything like that. And you're close to Jesus and you're close to God in heaven.
Yeah. I always tell people hell is, once you go to hell, you're going to relive all the negative things you did in your life.
I think of hell as like a sanctification state, meaning that in order for you to be cleansed of your sins, you have to go through this pit of fire. And for some people, that could take centuries.
Isn't that what Buddhists believe?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. It's like
I think
a cleansing.
there's a little bit of truth in like every religion, honestly.
It's like a cleansing.
Yeah, and I think whoever you believe in is who you see when you pass. Like, I think all the gods are there. I believe in all of them. And I think who you're devoted to, who you pray to, who you give your energy to in the human life is who you see when you pass.
So it's catering to your perception?
Yes.
That's interesting. Have angels changed your life?
Yes.
How so?
Oh, me and Devin were just talking about like an aspect of this earlier. I don't see people like that I was once friends with to be the same anymore. Like I have a very clear understanding of people, greed, gluttony. I have a clear understanding of happiness and joy, which to me, like I define as like being around family and friends, true joy, right? And I feel like before I started working with angels, I was just a very stressed out, bitter person who had no purpose. And I don't want to say I was mean, but I wasn't really in my, living my purpose. So I just wasn't a happy person. And then obviously with blockages in that aspect, I had blockages in all the physical reality monetarily. I work with angels to remove blockages, but with that, I've also been able to like build businesses, build wealth, help out my family, attract people that I would say are and good for me. Whereas before when I was growing up and people around me, they weren't good for me. So it's just changed how intentional I am, I guess. And I would say more than that, like more than I can even conceptualize, more than I would even know, like what would have life been like before.
Yeah. Do angels ever intervene without being asked?
I think for everybody, if something is not meant to happen, it won't happen. And whether that be about a guy calling you back or somebody that you're in love with and they don't want you back, I think that's all angelic intervention. Because if it doesn't want you, you should not be around it.
I think that's true, but only to a certain extent.
Okay.
Because if I jump out in front of a bus...
they're not going to save you from that. That's physical, But I mean, like, situationally, I think they will help you if they see that you're taking... your ancestors will help you if they see you're taking a really bad turn.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been somewhere, like, where you got there late and then you realize, oh, I really should not have gotten there early. Like, something happened.
All the time.
Yeah.
I think there's, like, reasons why I forget certain things. And I'm like, I got to go back.
Yeah.
Because if I don't go back, and that voice in my head is like super strong.
Yeah.
It's like, you better go back.
Yeah. You're very connected to your guides, I can tell.
Yeah. If someone watching tonight wants to begin, where should they start?
They need to start with removing everything blocking them. Because you can't manifest anything worth having if you still have limitations. So that could be, for most people, it's mental limitations. For some people, that could be a curse. For some people, that could be hexes, blockages, people putting the evil eye on them. But you need to know what the root of the issue is before you can fix it. You can't just go to like doing money magic or doing wealth magic or love magic. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You know, you have to get to the root of the issue before you can fix anything. Or else nothing is going to last.
You used the word limitations.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of goes back to what I said earlier about parents putting limitations on kids.
Yes.
Telling them what is possible, what is not possible. Telling them things that they can do, cannot do. We learn this, or we're being taught this as kids, that these things are not what is possible or accepted. But what if we did the opposite and we told them everything was possible?
I think our consciousness would be raised. I think we'd get back to a place we once were. There's a lot of limits, right? Even physical limits. I believe in the Immaculate Conception. I believe that at one point the earth was at a vibration where something like that could possibly manifest into physical reality. But we are at such a low vibration now that it won't be able to. So everything, like, I believe in manifestation, but because we are all one, it would take all of our consciousness to rise, to have miracles happen like that.
You spoke on something similar to like invisible blockages.
Yeah.
Right? Most people think that their life is just going downhill or something is affecting them, and they never think it's something spiritual.
I know.
So how does one navigate or even figure out what to do? How do they realize it?
It's so much more than just realizing it. It's understanding why it was kept from them. And this world works on energy. Everything is energy, money. And people that are ruling it understand that. And they pay a lot of money to make sure that people never truly realize that everything in this world is a frequency. I believe we're in a simulation. And there's hacks in the simulation. There's codes in the simulation, right? People don't realize that. They think that everything is, I guess, too real. And that they need to be realistic and they shouldn't be delusional. Like, I'm extremely delusional. You know? I don't believe in physical limitations. I don't even believe in spiritual limitations, honestly. Until somebody could ingrain that in their head, in their subconscious, nothing is going to change. They could tell themselves that, but if they don't believe it, it's not going to change. The thing is about ceremonial magic is that you don't need to believe any of it. The angels help you. They complete what you need to be completed without you believing in any of it.
You've worked with your angels. Have you ever attempted to work with the darker side?
No.
When you work with angels, have demons or the darker side ever tried to intervene with that?
Before I got into ceremonial magic, demons would try and attack me all the time. And that is why I got into ceremonial magic.
What did ceremonial magic do for you that...
It protected me. And as somebody that is very intuitive, psychic, I'm also a medium. I needed it. Because I knew that the reason I was so depressed, I was having so many physical blockages, it wasn't just because of me being on the wrong path in life. It was active spiritual warfare because of my potential.
How did you realize that?
Once I realized that I had control and I had power and I can protect myself and that everything, like I could be happy. I don't have to be anxious or depressed. I had severe anxiety. I had severe, like I would not be able to hold on to anything that was good. Severe anxiety. And I would just feel it all the time. And I think there's a lot of intuitives. And I don't think I've ever said this before, but I feel like you'd understand me. When I look on the internet, or if I'm on Instagram or TikTok, or even Etsy at this point, I can look into somebody's eyes and I know when they're being manipulated by an entity. It's very common, especially in the spiritual community. And I feel like if you are not working with something stronger than yourself, or if you have a very strong higher self that can handle it, you are going to be approached and bullied by these entities. They're not all demons. But you need to find something bigger than you to protect yourself.
If they're not all demons, what are the other possibilities?
Oh God, there's so many lower vibrational entities, you know? Some of them don't even have abilities, you know, others will just mimic you to scare you, try and get a rise out of you. But they're not all demons. They're not all demonic.
Are they physical beings?
No, most of them have never lived. But they live on the astral realm, and if you're psychic, there's a part of you that lives on the astral realm as well. And they'll find you, and they'll try and bully you, and you may not even realize it why in the physical reality, but that's why.
Ceremonial magic.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like when you're practicing? Is there an altar?
Yes, there's an altar, there's incantations, there's a way you talk to these angels, you're respectful to them, very respectful. Some of them you give offerings, some of them, they like expensive offerings, diamonds, certain types of wine. I mean, and that's not just in ceremonial magic, that's in most religions that work with magic. But yeah, you approach them with respect and you ask them, you know, I here hold the seal. I ask you to do this. You say the incantation, and if they accept your offering, then you'll see it.
Is it possible to offer the wrong thing?
I mean, you really shouldn't, but I feel like intuitively I always know when they are okay with what I'm giving and when they're not. But depending on the deity you work with or the angels, like usually angels just want you to give back, right? Like if you're working with angels of light, they just want you to give back to charity. Mm-hmm. Do something good for society because you have a blessing given to you. If you're working with other entities like in Santeria, or like, for instance, Saint Expedite, he wants his pound cake. Like just everyone knows he wants his pound cake and his cigars, right? But with angels, if you're working with the Solomonic spirits, for Mercury, it's Mercury, like light bulbs, whatever. You shouldn't get the offering wrong. I mean, if you give extra stuff, that's good, but just make sure you're not giving something that could insult them.
Mm-hmm. When you're doing ceremonial magic, do you know, are they considered angels?
Yeah. I only work with angels. I don't work with the goetic spirits.
So do you know these angels on a first name basis?
Yes. It's like you have to speak their name in a certain way. It's all in Hebrew, so you have to pronounce their name correctly.
Do you know Hebrew?
I don't, but I know how to do the incantations.
And you understand what you're saying?
Yeah, because I do research for it, of course.
Okay. I want to talk about, we're talking about auras a little earlier. I want to talk about some of the darkest auras.
Some of the darkest auras. Well, just because somebody has a dark aura doesn't mean they're a bad person. What I've noticed a lot when I see people with dark auras is that they either they have been doing magic or energetic manipulation, or they've had energetic manipulation done towards them to where they can't access their full consciousness in their body. So something else kind of takes over them. And then that's soul loss, right? And usually when somebody has soul loss, their aura turns gray. And these are celebrities that are, we see in the news now. It's very rare. Like, not even really the top celebrities are all, like, possessed or anything. It's rare, and I have seen it, and it's very disturbing to see it. But it is, I think I've maybe done 5 or 6 readings on big-time celebrities that have had this type of issue.
Can you name a few?
Okay. Kat Von D. Yeah.
I actually like her.
You do? I don't think she's a bad person. I don't know if she even consciously knows what's happening. Like, I don't think these celebrities even consciously know that they are experiencing soul loss. But I can see it as a psychic, It's almost like, if I can explain it in the physical realm, it's like your soul is residing on, like, this very, very tight corner of your body. You'll see these people, and it's just their consciousness is residing in 10% of their body. And then there's something else. And it's not always the same thing. Like, people talk about soul swapping, which is a real thing. People will put one soul into another body. And, I mean, that's been in the movies for God knows how long, right? And then to find out that there's actually evidence about this.
You talking about like a movie like Get Out?
Okay, so I saw some of that movie. I didn't see the whole thing.
Okay.
Is that what happened in the movie?
Yeah,
So.
I mean, they put a black man into a white body. I mean, a white man into a black body.
Oh.
But they suppress the consciousness of the black man to a very dark place so that the white male or female can be the host, pretty much.
And it's very sad.
And that happens?
Yeah.
Have we seen this happen to someone publicly and we didn't realize it?
Yes.
Like someone famous?
Yes.
We don't have to go into names.
I'm trying to think of an example for you.
Mm-hmm.
Britney Spears is somebody that I can say, like, from what I can see as a psychic, her consciousness is suppressed in her. It's very, very slim. It's residing, like, in the back of her body. And they do this because they traumatize. They split the mind in half. So they're able to do this. And it's sad. And that's why, like, I never make or reading videos or anything like that to say anything negative about these people. For the most part, whether you agree or whatever you think you're agreeing to, nobody signs up for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a human, as a soul, nobody signs up to have not full control over their body. But it happens. There was a contract that Clive Davis made Whitney Houston sign. And basically in the contract, he said it was one of the only contracts he ever made an artist sign like this. And in the contract, it gave him full rights till eternity of Whitney Houston on a soul level. Do you think that contract was written quite literally? I mean, I'm sure any human that could read that thinks that, oh, this is just like this lifetime. No, this goes beyond this lifetime.
Mm.
Whitney Houston, I did a reading on her. These celebrities, their souls get trapped because they work with these people and they know exactly what they're doing. I think I had a conversation with you a few months ago and we spoke about people like, my mother was in the car, right? We spoke about people in my family, right? So my grandmother grew up, 4 of her brothers were mafia hitmen. She was given up to foster care, changed her identity, changed everything about her. So she's basically untraceable. And once we found her family, they knew about her and they were just waiting for her to find them, right? My whole family, they told us the story about, why. Like, not exactly why, but basically my grandmother got pregnant with somebody. I don't believe he was Sicilian. And I honestly think that from what we've found out is that my grandmother's, 4 uncles probably murdered him because there's no trace of him after that. But we went to a psychic and she told my mother that the souls of everyone that her great, uncles killed, they stay in the bloodline to give them wealth. And everybody in my grandma's side of the family is a millionaire. So I think that this is what's happening.
What's the darkest aura you've ever seen?
I want to say Britney Spears. Because I don't think that what happened to her should happen to a human. And there's other people that are pretty up there with her. But the fact that this has been going on for so long, and I see Britney's soul trapped for such a prolonged period of time, and her mind split, and just mentally not being able to control herself. It's just torture.
Is it possible to recover?
I don't know. I don't know what that looks like, how it would be done. And I think that there's some celebrities that are just, they're born into it. It's not negative. They're A-listers, but they're just evil people.
Is it easier for someone to, I guess, are we saying like soul swap? Is that the word?
They have all these different mechanisms of doing this.
Okay, so for whatever it's doing, is it easier to do at a younger age?
It's easier to condition the mind to prepare for that at a younger age. Because it all starts with mind control. That's how you get the mind, the subconscious, weak enough to do it.
Speaking of auras,
Hmm.
let's talk about mine. What you see.
It's crazy you said that. You just gave me permission to see everything. So you actually have a gold aura around you. There's a little bit of orange, which is about passion. This is sacral chakra energy. So I feel like you're a very passionate person, but the gold here, you don't let a lot of people see this. You're only letting me see like a little bit of it. It's not fully encompassing you right now. You try and keep your energy to yourself. I think that if you keep around the wrong people, they'll like try and steal that. And you're very protective of your energy, so you don't want that to happen. I also feel like you don't let a lot of people read you.
Is there anything that you see that you would be concerned about?
Grief.
Grief?
You hold so much weight on your shoulders. There's also this message of not completing something, or maybe you had like an expectation for yourself, or somebody put it on you, somebody that like meant a lot to you that may have passed. You feel like you haven't completed something you promised them. Or maybe it's just not good enough yet.
It's never good enough.
No.
That's my problem.
Yeah. Well, that's going to keep you in a cycle if you don't feel like anything is complete.
I'm getting better at it.
As long as you're conscious of it.
Yeah.
Who's this person that passed? Is this like a grandfather?
It's been a few people.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking of the main one, I mean, my grandmother meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
She was the one woman who, it didn't matter what you did.
Yeah.
Didn't matter how dark it got. Didn't matter how bad it was. She didn't judge you.
Mm-hmm.
At least not to your face. At least not that I thought.
Yeah.
And for someone to pass away that you believe that is the one person that would never look at you in a negative light
Mm-hmm.
means a lot.
It's not like they leave,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
What else you see about the aura?
About yours?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have red in your aura, and this is all like angst, anger, and aggression. But you don't have that tonight. Something is calmed down in you.
Do you think a part of that is your aura?
Mine? Possibly. Maybe I'm a calming person. I mean, I've been anxious and like scared, but
Let's talk about that.
okay.
When you got here, like you said, you were anxious,
Mm-hmm.
a little on edge.
Yeah.
Can I ask why?
Driving up here, the first thing I saw was not a ghost. It was something else.
You mean like up here?
Mm-hmm.
So very close to here.
Yeah, driving here.
Did you take that as a sign?
I usually go with my intuition about things. The energy can get dark, but it like calms down very quickly. It doesn't stay in that energy. It doesn't stay stagnant here. There's a lot of movement.
Let's talk about immortal vampires.
Okay.
What would be an immortal vampire?
This is somebody that they lived a life where they either felt as though they have not completed their mission in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to skip over the second death and basically become immortal. Not in the physical, like, human flesh sense. They stay in the earthly realm as a very light, faint mist. But they can attack people. They can astral stalk people. These are astral predators. And usually, it wasn't always like that. Like, back when these rituals were performed in ancient Egypt and Sumeria, the intention wasn't evil. It was so that they can fulfill a mission to, most of the time, bring the consciousness of the world. But immortality is something that a lot of occultists want to achieve for themselves, because usually when people get into magic or witchcraft, they start working with many different energies, and instead of being sanctified for their sins, which is going through a pit of fire, they would rather kind of skip over that and stay in the earthly realm because they reside here and they're comfortable. Immortal vampires are vampires that lived, and they skip over the second passing, and they have a lot of astral power. They're very, very powerful. And it used to be a ritual that was reserved for royalty, kings, queens, mostly men. But people have learned how to do this. There's a lot of stories in New Orleans about this, like the casket girls. And in that part of Europe that the casket girls came from, it was common for people to to go through these vampire rituals. So the lore is not just in Eastern Europe, it's also in the United States. I'm sure it's all over the world as well.
The word vampire is very loosely used,
Yes.
right?
There's many different vampires. There's vampires that are doing rituals for astral power, but they're living people, and I've met one of them, and I've read their books, and these are not people that have, psychic abilities, for lack of a better word. And then there's energy vampires, and an energy vampire could be somebody that just drains your energy. Like, I have friends that, even though I grew up with them and I love them, but I can't be around them because they're energy vampires, and they're not bad people. It's just they have reached such a low vibration that they need to siphon other people's energy because they can't connect to source anymore.
Outside of energy vampires, are we talking about vampires like we see in the movie? What are we talking about?
Yeah, there are vampires that will be like the ones you see in the movies.
That have the abilities?
No.
Okay.
Not like the super fast or any of that stuff. I mean, we're all limited to physical constraints. Like, that's, if you were here in the physical reality as a person. Huh?
Debatable. You said.
Well, it's debatable to an extent. Like, you're not running 700 miles an hour like Edward Cullen. Maybe. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I guess it's possible.
I think under different circumstances of what we're being told our limits are, it could be different.
Yeah. Everything is made to...
We might be able to teleport. Who knows?
I think our consciousness can teleport. I think we're able to time travel and do stuff like that. But...
Teleport astrally or physically?
Astrally. I also think that, like I said, because we're at such a low vibration, if we were able to raise the consciousness, we'd be able to physically teleport as well. Like, there's accounts of old saints that back in the 1600s, people would say they would be levitating. I think that it's possible, and I think that if we did raise our consciousness, these things would be able to exist.
Why do you think vampire legends have survived for so long?
Because they're true. Because they're warnings.
Warnings?
Yeah.
For what?
Predators. Astral predators. Sometimes physical predators. Immortal vampires can harm people physically. They can get you very sick, just like a curse can.
Can't anybody get you sick?
Yeah, kind of.
So then why would the word vampire be attached to that?
They can do it more easily, and they can torment you in a different way.
What's a form of torture look like?
Somebody that every time you think of them, you just feel watched by them, being spied on.
You ever been out and about, grocery store, movie theater, and you've walked by somebody and knew instantly that they were negative?
Yes. I remember exactly when it happened, too. I was with a friend, and they had a stand. It was right by the Empire Hotel in New York City. And they were they had a stand with trees. They were giving out Christmas trees. And somebody they hired, didn't even need to see their face. They were turned backwards. And all of a sudden, I just felt it. This person was not fully human. This was somebody partly reptilian. And then when I was reasoning with myself, and I'm like, why is this person working for him? And they were telling me a little bit about their life. They were connected to this very, very famous family.
They were talking? You were having a conversation
with
this person?
Yes, this person, they kind of grabbed my hand and shook it, and I didn't really want to touch them, but they did it anyway. And they were just telling me about their life, and they were connected to this very famous family, this rock band back in the 80s. And then it kind of made sense, but that was the one person where instantly I just knew this person, that's not human, basically.
Were there any physical features that you could tell or no?
No.
So they were just hidden in plain sight?
Yeah.
Do you think it was more of a spiritual thing than a physical thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Let's talk about soul ties.
Yeah.
What would a soul tie be considered? What is that?
That is when you have an exchange of emotional energy with somebody that is profound to the point where they're able to access your energetic field and they can put etheric cords in you, etheric ties. And this also can be somebody where you had a past life with them and you're just thinking about them, giving your thoughts, your energy to them. It can also that could also manifest as a soul tie and also as a cord, which are different. Soul ties are like a lot stronger. Cords, you have cords with people at work, like you could just pull them out. They're harmless, right? Not harmless if you don't know how to take care of them, but like soul ties are harder to get rid of. Like it's difficult. It sometimes takes years to get rid of soul ties. But these, usually we have soul ties with the person we are intimate with, and that's not always negative. Like you can recharge somebody. Like if both energies are good and they complement each other, then that's great. But sometimes people are just being siphoned, their energy is being siphoned out of them because they had a bad relationship with somebody and there's a soul tie and they don't know how to get rid of it. And they're just constantly an energetic source to that person. Even though they're not together, they're not sleeping together, haven't seen each other in years. I mean, once you have time and like less energy that you're consciously giving them, it does start to dissolve, but it just takes time. I have a bunch of people like that come to me. They've been in a situation on and off and with this person for 8 years. And what's keeping them together is the soul tie that they just can't shake. Very toxic,
When someone comes to you and they have a soul tie that is toxic,
yeah.
What do you do to remove that?
So I personally, and I can tell you because I'm not offering any services anymore, the way I approach it is I will deliver them working, I will work with one of the like amulets of Saint Benedict, which is known in Catholicism as an exorcism amulet, right? I will work with that to remove any of that energy from them. Also, I will remove all hexes that are from that person, the negative person, that are now on my client. I'll cleanse them, and then also we will sometimes work with the spirits of the air in the Book of Moses to fully release everything.
Is it always successful?
If the girl doesn't go back, if the guy doesn't go back. I mean, once you get rid of these soul ties, these cords, you have an empty void. And what do you want when you have that empty void? You want that person to fill that void again. So they're tempted. They're tempted to go back to that person because they want to fill that void that I just got rid of. So it depends on the person.
I mean, for someone to come to you to untie it.
Yeah.
But then they go back to what they had untied.
It's so expensive. It's like expensive too,
I didn't know that.
Oh my God. It's like very expensive.
To,
not just me.
To undo a soul tie.
To do that much work, to fully rid them of all of that, yes.
And you still see people go back?
Yeah, and they'll spend it all over again.
What is it, the roller coaster? The
yes.
enjoyment?
Yes, it's the adrenaline.
The up, the downs?
Yeah, that's my soulmate.
But then now that sounds slightly psychotic.
Yeah.
Or mental, I would say. I'm not going to say psychotic.
Love makes you do things. Heart wants what it wants.
Okay, I want to ask you this then.
Okay.
Love can make you do things. Where does discipline come into play?
Most people don't have discipline.
Okay. I agree with you.
I'll be honest with you. If most people had discipline, they put boundaries up. I don't have a lot of male clients. A lot of men, when they're cheated on, they are disciplined enough to say, I am not going back to this person. I would say that a lot of men that would be put in the situation that I have my woman clients put in, they would not spend one red cent trying to get that person back. I don't think that, and I'm saying this as somebody who has practiced magic, I don't think that people that are truly disciplined are going back and forth with somebody they know is not good for them. It's sadly like women. And that needs to change. Like, I can't believe in 2026, like, we're still doing this. Men are not doing this. Men are out there, you know, most men are just playing video games now. But no offense. Hey, listen.
I'm just fucking with
I'm
you.
just being honest. 2026, us as women, we have limitless potential. We're, you know, a lot of women are just very abundant. They're able to manifest wealth. They do it for their husbands, you know. We can do all this. Like, why are we still wasting our time in these toxic relationships that are just lowering our vibration?
I think I don't really want to get too much into this.
Okay.
But if a man truly does not have discipline and doesn't have full confidence within himself, he will get lost just like a woman will in that love.
Really? Well,
100%.
they're not coming to me.
Maybe not. But there are men that are willing to sacrifice it all for a woman that treats them like shit. Why? One, they are scared to lose that person. They love this person more than that woman loves them.
Yeah.
So they're willing to sacrifice it all to not see that person walk out the door. And this happens with a lot more men than you think.
Maybe I just don't have men in these group chats telling me they're not seeking out
Yeah.
witch for hire or anything, you know?
Yeah. Can someone unknowingly carry someone else's pain?
Yeah. You're going to tell me that if your family, somebody you love, is grieving, they lost somebody or something's wrong, you're not going to carry their pain too?
Yeah, I remember enough times like that. Cam, how long have we been going for? It's a good time, man. You okay?
I'm good.
You need to take a break?
As long as... So these things they've never attacked anybody.
Never. They will never.
Okay. I want to know why you're so confident in that.
You're talking about this on camera or off camera?
Talk about it on camera.
What's the question?
Why are you so confident that these energies that are on this property are not going to ever do anything? Like,
I'm going to give you an example. Or a big reason why.
okay.
When I first got here, when I first officially moved into this house,
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first week or so in the house, at night specifically. I would be upstairs, and I'd be getting ready for bed. Remind you, I'm not scared of the dark.
Mm-hmm.
I cut off all my lights in my house. I don't have any night lights.
Mm-hmm.
I would hear legitimate, like, people downstairs walking around, moving things. Remind you, I go down there.
Damn, you really don't give a fuck.
Just listen. I would never see anything moved.
Mm-hmm.
There wouldn't be things missing. There wouldn't be things out of place. But it sounded as if it was like just people down there moving things, walking around, entering, not entering. And at first, I played it off as I'm in the middle of the woods. So there's going to be trees. There's going to be things that make noises. It may be something knocking on the window. I played it off to that. But when it happens night after night after night, something told me it ain't stuff outside. Something is here. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I go downstairs, first floor, and I sit on the stairs. I have like basically like 5 steps that go into the living room. I sit on the stairs and I make it very clear to whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
If you are positive, you are welcomed. If you are negative, you're not allowed to be here. I talked to all the positive things and I told them, listen, if you're positive, I have no problem with you entering, making yourself at home, passing through, whatever it may be. But with that responsibility also comes with you keeping the negative out. Since that day on, I don't hear that no more.
Yeah.
But I also understood that you and I've talked about this, the things that protect me, right?
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I was only just talking to whatever was here prior to me getting here, but I was also having that conversation with the people around me. And they made it very clear to whoever that was.
Mm-hmm.
Take it a step further. I go on runs, right?
Mm.
I go on runs on that street that you came up to come to this house.
Yeah.
Every time, not sometimes, every time I'm done with my run, I come out here and I sit down.
Yeah.
And I talk. No less than 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. And I talk to everything positive out here. The trees, the grass, the dirt, the soil, the bugs, the insects, the animals, whatever it may be. I have built a relationship with this land.
Yeah. I can feel that when I left your neighbor's house. It got very different when I got here.
I have built a legit relationship, knowing that they protect me. They don't harm people that I allow to be here. They will let me know if someone is not supposed to be here. So talking to you, you're supposed to be here. That's why I'm confident in the fact that they will not harm you. I told you before this podcast started, they may say hi. You may hear things. You may see them creeping around.
All of the above.
But they will not harm you. I've never told this story on camera, but I guess now they got it. So
You've had some very talented people that even I look up to on the show. What have they said about the land?
Can you give me names?
Celeste.
Okay.
And there was another woman, a voodoo priestess, and then the owner of Crescent Street Conjure, but I think you did the podcast over in there.
Yeah.
So
This turned an interview about me.
yeah. Well, you're a very gracious person, and you know how to handle the spiritual realm respectfully.
Celeste and we talked a lot. And Celeste has such a great personality that she basically is very playful,
Yeah.
right? Like when she's here, she's like, yeah, stuff's here.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, no doubt about it. But she doesn't go into it. Now, speaking about a good friend of mine, St. Elias from New Orleans. I've never told this story on camera before either.
We're getting all the juicy stuff tonight.
When I spoke to St. Elias, when I met St. Elias, I met him right outside of his shop for the first time.
Yeah.
Shook his hand, great energy. Very respectful guy, looked me right in my eyes. The energy I got was like stand-up person, right? He takes me through his shop, walks me to the back where it's like this little outdoor open area where we shot the podcast at. And I was with one of the guys from my production team. Shout out to Jake. Jake is setting up the podcast stuff. St. Elias and I are having a conversation. He also has 2 women that work at that shop.
Yeah.
Black lady, white lady. Black lady walks in. She walks behind him. She says hello. She goes, I think they have like a coffee or tea area.
Yeah.
She gets some tea. She walks out. St. Elias and I are still having a conversation. The white lady comes in. She walks behind him. She gets what she needs. As soon as she gets behind St. Elias, remind you, St. Elias and I are having a conversation. He says, stop. That's all he says is stop. I get quiet. The lady behind him stops. Jake stops. Everybody stops in that room. And he says, Askia, Has anybody ever told you that you have a lot of people with you? And I said, I've heard it before. He said, I don't think you understand. You have a lot of people with you. The reason why I brought up the lady behind him, she says, I thought I was the only person that could hear how loud they were. She says, they're so loud. She said, it's like they want us to know that they're with you.
Have you ever thought that maybe you were drawn to this place because the portals open help your ancestors that are protecting you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me.
No, that's all I wanted to say.
St. Elias and I get to doing the actual interview, or right before it. The same way you and I were kind of talking before the camera started rolling. I'm talking to him and I'm actually saying something. I was going to ask him a question. St. Elias is not looking at me like this. He's looking up here. And he stops and he says, I apologize. And I said, for what? He said, because there are going to be moments in this interview where I maybe blank out because of how loud the people are that are with you. He said, they're so loud. He said, and they love you, they protect you. He's like, they're just with you. He said, but it's very loud. He said, and it's going to disturb me a little bit.
Yeah.
With that being said, interview goes very well. After the interview, St. Elias and I are having another conversation, and he warns me about some things. I won't say what, but something in my brain, something in my mind, tells me to ask him something. But I can't ask it in front of everybody. So I ask him, is there a place that we can talk in private? I asked St. Elias a very specific question behind closed doors. I won't say what, but what I will say is I have never asked anybody to do any tarot readings, any different kind of readings, any kind of readings ever for me. They have only happened naturally, where the person that I was speaking with said, this is the route that we need to go to figure out this answer. St. Elias does this reading. That reading turned out to be the exact same. It was identical to one I had months done before that. I left there with a certain amount of reassurance that I never had before.
Wow.
And it wasn't as if I had more confidence. It wasn't as if I had a different outlook. I was just more certain on what I already knew.
Yeah.
So that, just speaking about myself and like what I believe and what I know, what may be around me or what is around me, I'll be fine.
I think you will too. You have a very powerful energy, and mentally you're very strong. There's a lot of people I feel like you may meet in life that, not psychic or anything, but they may meet you and they'll be automatically like put off and read you very wrong. There's a lot of protection on you to some people that can come off as scary. For some people, it'll come off as scary. For other people, it'll come off as standoffish. You're too confident, intimidating. And it's nothing about anything you could say or do or like appearance. It's all about your energy.
When you first got here,
Yeah.
what did you sense right away when we met for the first time?
I feel like because we've been trying, because we started planning this in November.
Early, yeah.
Early. When I first met you, like I did a read for you. And once I read somebody, we're not friends,
Let's make this very clear to the
Yeah.
people that are watching. This was over the phone.
Yes, this is over the phone. Sorry, guys. We had been trying to plan this for a very long time. It's raining. uh, we've been trying to plan this for a while. I did a read for Ski a couple times.
That's so
And
crazy.
Ski calls me Storm now because I always bring the rain.
I have literally, it's raining.
Yeah, and he told me the whole summer there's not going to be any rain. You'll be fine. Come whatever day you want. And I picked this. Oh my God, whatever.
No, they need to know this. Before we wrap up, they need to know this.
Okay. Every time I try and come here, it rains.
Every time. It's been 3 times.
Yeah.
And every time it has rained.
Yeah.
So much to the point where I gave you a new nickname.
Yeah.
Storm.
And now it's raining. It wasn't even supposed to rain
It
today.
wasn't supposed to rain at all, and it's drizzling right now.
What does that even mean? Well, it stopped.
It's going to stop, but
But you know what? Rain means blessings, like in folklore. Like a little bit of rain. If it's pouring, that's not blessing. That's chaos. But a little bit of rain means blessings. So it was just a little bit. What were we saying?
So you talked about the first time over the phone.
I did a read for Ski, and since we talk so much, it's hard for me to read friends. Everything that I needed to tell you, you know. And I feel like I've told you a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
You can tell them if you want.
You still didn't answer my question.
I didn't? What was your question?
I said when you first got here to do the
Oh.
podcast in person, what did you get?
There was a lot of blue around you, like aquamarine blue, when, like, not as your predominant aura colors, but just in that moment. And the only thing that has shifted, because I have read you before, is you have taken on a calmer state. So possibly the last time we spoke, maybe something happened, you were upset, you were angry, you were coming off differently. But that's it. Everything else is the same.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the app you created.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I created an app to read people's aura because when I was doing aura readings for people, I realized that I can't literally help everybody. And it's actually a funny story. I don't know if I should go into detail, but long story short, I almost got involved in a romance scam. And basically what this person told me was true. I was, the internet, the way like AI works, it can do everything I can do. Sometimes more accurate, sometimes not as accurate. But it literally will, in the next 5 years, with this now quantum computer they have with Google, it's going to take over aura readings. Because to see somebody's aura, you just need a picture of them. And even though to the naked eye, you and I, I can see, but you can't see somebody's auric field, the camera picks up everything. So in the person's photo, the aura is already there. The computer just can describe it, basically. So I created an app to help more people for like a very, very low price, and just help them see their aura, their etheric field, their tears, and just basically show them what they need to do to possibly improve it as well. Like there's advice in it as well.
I'm going to be a skeptic.
Okay.
Why are you so confident that it's accurate?
Because I've tested it out on people, and then I did the aura readings on them after.
Okay.
And I've had people, since right now this is our 6th month of Auramore being out, people have gotten aura photography and it came out the exact same as my app.
Why you ain't never let me try?
We could do it right now. I have my phone. I didn't know you'd be interested because I was going to give you an aura reading anyway.
But it's different to see it.
Yeah.
Because you telling me one thing, like I believe you 100%.
Yeah.
But to see it is probably a little different.
Yeah.
What's the app called?
Auramore.
Auramore?
Yeah.
AURAMORE?
Yeah.
Auramore.
AURAMOUR.
Sorry if I'm fucking that up. Okay. And then they can download it on any app store? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a website?
There is a website, but we are actually rebranding the website to do something else. I'm going to teach people how to do ceremonial magic.
For real?
Yeah.
I might need to learn.
Yeah.
Nah,
definitely.
I'm just fucking.
We
I
could
gotta
set
stay
up a
away.
whole seance right here. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
See,
it'd
don't
be
say that
amazing.
on camera because they'll want to see that.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to record it?
no.
See? Don't say that.
They're
We'll
going
cut that
to
out.
say that?
They would be like, bring her back to do a seance. That's what they would say.
Really?
Yes. So we'll just cut that out.
It would actually go crazy here. It would go fucking crazy. People buy property like this with this much activity and portals open to do seances.
See, now I want to keep it in.
Keep it in. Fuck it. I mean,
You'll just see what they say?
yeah, we'll see what they say.
All
Fuck
right,
it.
cool. And then where can people find you on Instagram, social media?
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, just at Lotty Luxe.
Lotty Luxe, LOTTYLUXE.
Luxe, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. We finally made it happen.
I
And
know.
it did rain,
It
which is
did
still
rain.
kind of creepy.
I know. I wonder what that means.
It did rain.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to. It's like 100 degrees.
I know. It's hot. I'm like wearing a sweater.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned. Stay horrible.